What's up, guys? Welcome back to Midwest Watermen, breaking down the door. Back up here in Sturgeon Bay. Made it up yesterday, Friday. Today's Saturday. Been a couple weeks since I was up here last time. A lot warmer. Oh, I don't know if I should say a lot warmer, but it was at least, it only got down to 35 last night instead of 20 like last time. So didn't wake up shivering. Beautiful day here in Potawatomi State Park. Finally got the boat all moved into the storage unit last time, so didn't have to full width it this time. I could just set up my tent and go for camping. Making one of my favorite creations of a little camp coffee with the jet boil. But excited for this weekend. I think the water's still gonna be pretty chilly, so we'll see. A couple upgrades, couple lessons learned last time. Finally got a windscreen for my GoPro mic, so hopefully save you guys a headache of some wind noise. And got a sleeping pad, so it was a lot warmer last night. And we're gonna get after it this week. Wind forecast is pretty gnarly, so we're gonna see how that goes. It's supposed to be gusting like 30 this morning, but so far it hasn't really felt too windy. It's supposed to die down around lunchtime, but you really never know until you get out on the water. So we're just gonna have to play it by ear. I think this weekend I'm probably gonna start, at least today, in Little Sturgeon and just lock myself in that bay and just dedicate myself to fishing that bay for the whole entire day, and just until I can find fish, because last time sucked. I was bouncing around too much, didn't catch a single fish. At least catch some walleyes or something this weekend, so we'll see. Depending on what the water temp is, I think I could at least hopefully find a single fish in Little Sturgeon Bay. That's the goal for today, and then we'll go from there. But thanks for all the support last video. Definitely a learning process. Got a lot of lessons that I learned from editing and stuff, and it's been a lot of fun to take you guys along with me and document my journey. So hopefully videos will keep getting better and better and better. So those of you that have stuck around from episode 1, thanks for your support, and those of you that are new, welcome, and thanks for tuning in. Showers still aren't on here, but took a little wet wipe shower in the tent. They at least have the winter water well on, so got access to drinking water. It'll be nice when they open them up. But we're making it. Campgrounds are starting to get pretty crowded up here at Potawatomi, which is cool. I'm always happy to see a lot of Wisconsinites taking advantage of the resources. Just getting out and touching some grass for the weekend. Back on the water, guys, in Little Sturgeon again today. Water's 48.5 degrees, so that's really exciting. Pretty decent rollers coming in off the main lake, so that kind of helps me stick to my plan of staying right here in Little Sturgeon. Saw a couple big deep V boats running out there, but probably 2-foot rollers ish, coming off the Green Bay side. Not too terrible, but definitely not calm today. The nice thing about Door County is you can really find a place to fish no matter what the wind is doing, because there's bays on all sides of the peninsula. So we're gonna stick here in Little Sturgeon today. I think I'm just gonna start working super slow, throw a tube and Ned rig, see what we can come up with. All right, guys, so I found this school of fish that looks fired up, and I was throwing a Ned rig, but it really looks like they're chasing a school of bait or something, because they keep flashing up in the middle of the water column. So I tied this little swim bait on. I'm really struggling to keep the boat where it needs to be, and look at the graph with the freaking glare right behind me. Trying to keep the boat in the right spot and follow this school at the same time. And this bait is so tiny that I love it. I mean, I absolutely love this little jig head, Okashir jig head. But it is not easy to cast very far, nor it does not get down to the bottom very quick at all. Boy, has it been a long day. Skunked again so far. I fished all over today, and I have seen a ton of fish, just have not been able to get anything triggered. I've fished a little bit fast, fished really, really slow most of the day, dragging a dark sleeper around like super slow, and also throwing a jerk bait, kind of just letting it like twitch 1 minute pause, like barely even moving it. Drag the Ned rig around really slow as well. Seems like the most fish I found were way out like towards the mouth of the harbor, and probably 9 to 13 feet. I have stuck to little sturgeon the whole entire day, which I've beat this place down. Another sucky day of fishing today. Just got off the water. I feel like I learned a lot today, at least, and had boosted confidence from finding a ton of fish. Seemed like I found a lot of active fish and was able to target them in different depths and areas of little sturgeon. And I did stick to my plan of staying there all day long, which is really hard to do, especially when you see so many boats bouncing in and out and in and out and going to different spots. My bilge pump kicked on a couple times today, which was really weird, and I didn't really think anything of it at first, but I popped open the battery compartment and I saw like really slow seep of water coming in, probably like a half gallon an hour, just like a tiny little trickle, which I don't think I need to be alarmed about, but definitely I need to figure out where that water's coming in from, because that's obviously not a good sign. Gonna head back to the campground, swing by Walmart. I need to get some stuff. I forget what the heck I need to get, but overall, I mean, it is what it is. I think I might head up north tomorrow, and depending on the wind, I need to look at that and see what it's looking like. Try some new stuff. I might do the same thing I did today with just like picking one bay and just locking myself in. Well guys, today's been super slow. It's Sunday now, probably about 1 o'clock. I've just felt absolutely defeated. It's been such a slow day. I haven't caught anything all day, and so I turned the cameras off. I didn't really do much recording at all this today, and I turned the live scope off and just got back to the basics, trying to find fish, and it just sucked. Like, it just, getting skunked last time, getting skunked yesterday, just not catching anything. It's like, what am I doing? But really just put my head down and kept fishing, and finally paid off. Just started throwing a jerkbait super slow, and like twitch, just let it sit for like 45 seconds, and caught this nice little fat pre-spawn smallmouth, probably, I don't know, probably 3-pounder or so, but nothing too crazy, but boy does it feel good. It's one of those fish where it's like all your effort has gone into one freaking fish, and going so long without catching anything all the time and effort and money and stuff I put into coming up here. And granted, it is still really early in the season, but it just sucks when you go hours and hours and hours on the water by yourself. But yeah, time to put the cameras back on, I guess. And I just felt distracted by trying to film and whatnot and stuff, so hopes are high now. I was like, you know what, let me just get back to where would fish be 101. And I saw this little breakwater right here, and I said, you know what, I'm going to throw a jerkbait at that breakwater because that's where the fish would be and how to catch a smallmouth bass 101, and it worked out. And I think I'm just gonna work my way down. There's this little kind of reef line. That fish makes sense, a lot of sense in my head, just because like tying together the stuff that I've learned, like fishing the spawn up here, how the fish like to, oh, there goes my jerkbait. Roller coaster of a day, guys. Roller coaster of a day. Finally caught my first fish, and then just chucked the bait that I caught it on straight off into the middle of nowhere. Welcome to Midwest Waterman bloopers. I really wish I was recording a lot more last night because I had quite a few bloopers last night between, let's see what happened last night. One thing was that I was opening my lighter fluid to start the bonfire and wrongfully assumed that there would be one of those little safety seals on the lighter fluid. Kind of like when you get a bottle of shampoo or something, you have to like take off the little white part underneath. I was wrong. I was squeezing the bottle and opened the lid and sprayed myself in the face, so that was cool. Oh, I made brats last night. They were really good, but I started with 6 brats. The camp grill was on an angle, and I didn't realize that until one of my brats rolled off and fell straight into the fire, so that was cool. And then as I was shuffling around trying to catch my brats, I pulled one off and put it on the table because it was done on a paper towel, and that brat proceeded to roll off of the table onto the ground. So needless to say, my raccoon friends were eating good last night. They really were. I don't know if raccoons are meat eaters, but I'm sure they probably enjoyed my brats. Let's see if we can flesh out this pattern and see if we can't catch a couple more. A lot of my friends that don't fish, especially my girlfriend, don't really understand my addiction problem that I have with fishing, especially because I've gone so long this year without catching anything. That fish right there is like a shot of heroin. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. Two full days of fishing without catching anything by yourself up here in the middle of nowhere, which I love being up here. I truly do enjoy it, even just being on the boat. But since the goal was to catch fish, and that goal had not been achieved until literally just now, words cannot describe how awesome that fish made me feel, even though it's not a giant. I mean, it's look at that, guys. Nice, angry, fat pre-spawn smallmouth. They're probably 3-pounder or so. I mean, look at the belly. This little rock cliff that drops down into sand, and that's all I'm doing is just kind of casting it up onto the ledge and then slowly working it off of the ledge. There we go again. Oh, she feels really good. Ooh, that was a good fish. Pulled it right out of his mouth.
I was just about to get the net, and I was focused on getting the net and not reeling the fish in. And that was dumb. That was dumb. I think that one felt good. Midwest mess ups, that's what that is. Blooper reel. I usually don't like to leave the net out. I don't know if it's like a superstitious thing or what, but like I never like get the net out right when I'm getting the boat ready until I catch a fish. I don't know why, it's just like a bananas in the boat type of thing. And it really bit me in the butt right there. Oh well. There's one. Nice little, I don't know, 2.5 pounder. Well, there's another fish. Feels pretty good. Don't go under the boat. I was really screwing around with my power poles, trying to get them to stick better. And I went to reel my jerkbait back in, and there was a fish connected to it. Nice little fish. So I'm actually fishing a spot that I fished this morning. I guess I was fishing it wrong. I was fishing it with that little finesse jig instead of a jerkbait. And I just saw this little school swimming by. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna cast here. And then apparently you have to fish super, super slow because they only want it when it's literally sitting there in the middle of the water, doing nothing. So that was pretty funny. We've gotten ourselves a good little bag of fish today. Nothing crazy, no giants, but it's been a fun afternoon. Definitely feels rewarding after the lack of activity over the last 4 days. I don't even know how many between last time and this time, but it definitely seems like the trolling motor is about to give up, and I don't blame it because it's been just working hard the whole entire day trying to keep the boat in these waves. There it is. This one feels pretty good. Let's see if I can fix those names. Don't jump. Lost a lot of fish today. Well, not a lot, but at least 3. And that's just part of jerkbait fishing, but it's definitely frustrating. I'm fishing with a 6-pound leader, so can't really horse them in. But man, is it fun to fight them. I mean, they're just stacked up. I don't know what they're stacked up on, but come here. Another nice little 3.5. This guy's bleeding apart, so I'm gonna get back in the water. Yeah, I think it's time for me to upgrade to a new trolling motor because fishing up here sucks without spot lock. And this is kind of similar to the structure I was fishing earlier, or where I caught that first fish, but it's not really as defined. I'm really hoping that there's a big fat mom around here somewhere because so far it's just been like cookie cutter 3-pounders, but which, don't get me wrong, that's fun, but obviously trying to upgrade. Oh, too soon. It's like tap, tap. Big old rock bass. All right, guys, that's a wrap on this week's video. Overall, shaky start to this series, breaking down the door between last trip and yesterday and this morning and stuff, but was really happy to fill a little bag of fish today. And like I said, nothing too crazy. A bunch of 3.5 pounders. So it was a lot of fun though. Sneaking up on this fish in shallow water with a jerk bait and fighting off the wind and the weather. It was a ton of fun. So I think I definitely learned a lot about pre-spawn smallmouth this trip, and learned that I really need to focus on that shallow water when it's 45-ish degrees up here. So something I wasn't really used to. I think I spent way too much time out in deep water, especially yesterday. So lessons learned, and that's kind of the whole point of this series. So thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a blast taking you guys along with me on this journey. Stay tuned for next time's video, and hopefully the fishing is really heating up.